Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Housewives Edit. My name is Elle and I am here to talk about the two loves of my life, editing and housewives. Oh my gosh, you guys, this episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was so chock full. I wish I could cover every single scene. One of these days I'll have someone helping me out with editing so I can cover literally every scene. The editing takes, some time to make sure that it's actually watchable for you guys rather than me messing up on everything that I say. Have the big episode from, well, you guys, we have the big episode. I am here to break down, and I am here and I'm going to be talking about, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting and doing all the things YouTube likes. I can't believe we're almost at 1,500 subscribers. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm just like, this is insane. This is insane. I would love to continue to grow this community because you guys are so nice. I think I've gotten like 2 mean comments. They weren't even that mean. I always was scared of YouTube because I was always like, I feel like everyone's gonna hate me or they're gonna think I'm trying to do too much or insert my opinion and my opinion will be wrong. I love your takes. You guys are so smart. You clue me into so much stuff. This is the content I need. Anyway, you guys, I'm covering my second scene in this episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is where Lisa and Kathy and Kyle talk, and I cannot wait to cover it with you, so let's just jump right in.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Nice to see you back.
So big intro music for Lisa.
Hi.
She gets inside. Obviously, Kathy's there and Kyle's with her, and she gives Kyle the hug and the music goes out.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Pulling all the air out of the room.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
I've come here all the way from Cathedral City, from the Ponderosa, to apologize to you.
I don't know what that means, but here's Smokey.
She keeps doing this Ponderosa thing. I'm so confused by it. I think a lot of us are, and Kyle is included. You guys, more than anything, can hear what music the editors put behind it. It's like this weird, almost like circus-y.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
I've come here all the way from Cathedral City, from the Ponderosa, to apologize.
We feel like, what the heck is going on? Why does she keep doing this Ponderosa thing? I need some answers.
But here's Smokey. Come on.
Kathy's wearing the same t-shirt she wore in Aspen when she had her psychotic break. It's the same shirt.
So what have you girls been talking about?
Well, I apologize to Kyle, and that I said some very unkind things, and I feel bad that I unleashed on you. I vented, and I wasn't taking into consideration that you're also in a real sensitive spot right now.
So interestingly enough, it starts out with Lisa and Kathy just jumps right in when Lisa asks. And they have, this over the shoulder, over Lisa's shoulder of Kathy talking, and then they have the ladies. And obviously when Kathy's being real with Lisa, they're going to do the shot of the over the shoulder to her, a little bit close in on her face to really kind of bring us in. Do we believe her? Do we think that this is a real apology? I personally feel this is real, and I feel like she's handling this really nicely.
Spot right now, losing your mom. I said things that I shouldn't have said. And I am so sorry.
And do you guys see that the frame is dirty with Lisa's head? Instead of just having the shot be straight on Kathy, which I know they do have that shot as well, they're constantly keeping Lisa in the frame. Lisa has kind of become a main piece of this whole storyline. From an editorial standpoint, they're really kind of trying to keep her in the mix. We can't just make this about Kathy apologizing again. We got that already with Kyle. Now this is about the dynamic between Kathy and Lisa, so they keep the back of Lisa's head in the frame, even though it dirties the shot.
I was really shook. I've never seen anything like that.
And you never see me like that.
And I've certainly never seen you like
No.
that. You have to really take a look at what happened.
And you can see they take the same thing. They get the shot of Kyle. They could have just gotten the clean shot of Kyle, but they include Lisa in on it because, again, she's a main component of this storyline.
And like, what triggered you and what made you go to that place? Do you have any idea?
I mean, I don't really have a temper.
What would you call this?
Losing my temper.
A temper. She said, I don't really have a temper. I don't believe that at all. Like, I love Kathy. I love them all. But I think she's got a side to her that, yeah, she just feels like she's got a side to her. I think that's always what I thought was great about her and dynamic about her is I never bought the hunky-dory, storyline side of her. I really thought there was a lot brewing under there, a lot of maybe some anger stuff. Nothing wrong with that. It just feels like I can feel that. And for her to say, I don't have a temper, I feel like that's going to be used as a flashback in the future seasons, because I think we're going to see more and more of this, come out.
Losing my temper and just being cruel. Yeah.
Cruel. I feel if we're going to really talk about this, you're going to have to take responsibility for some of the things that you've said. You said some things about...
Isn't that's what she's doing right now, right? Like, to be clear. This is obviously, we know that Lisa's trying to drag on this storyline a bit, but I also feel like it's like, there's people like this. I'm sure you guys have gotten into this in some situation in your life where there are people that you say you're sorry, you're not asking them to forget forever, but then they continue to drag it on just because maybe of their own stuff, or they want to, I don't know what it is, but it's infuriating. And I feel like Kathy's trying to take responsibility here. But I guess Lisa just more than anything has an agenda of what she wants to say here.
It's about everybody, not just Kyle, like big things that, I don't want to say that you need help, Kathy, but I think you need some help.
I think I was a little frustrated.
I think the editors left that in very purposely when Kathy gives that sort of look like, out of all the people in this group, you are going to tell me that I need help? That is funny. They could have just cut that out. You guys remember, they can leave in, they can cut out whatever they want. And they left in that look of Kathy. If they were trying to build a storyline of like, this is about Rinna speaking truth right now. Everyone's coming down on Kathy because this is a pattern, whatever. But they're also kind of showing the other side of this, which I think they think and know that a lot of the viewers are going to feel, which is like, people are not totally on Lisa's side with this. And so by leaving in that reaction shot of Kathy sort of being like, like, you think I need help? I think that's just sort of a nod to the audience, like, we see you.
Rated. I think it was just a lot of heavy stuff in 3 days, jam-packed. Mm-hmm. A lot to process. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is that trying to shut me up?
Okay, so again, leaving in that like,
okay,
I'm only going to humor you for so long. And they left that little part in to kind of show us that.
Shut me up?
No. But I feel you can be very unkind too. I will say that.
Oh, we're going to go there.
But see, you don't want to hear that.
It's not about me right now. This is about you.
Basically, we're in the same position that we were 8 years ago.
You came after me all last year.
You know what? The truth is the truth.
If you can sit here and use excuse about losing your parents,
I'm not using it as an excuse.
You guys, can you please, honestly?
It's just another sister.
I don't know what you guys feel, but I just feel like, what Kathy said, she said,
See, you don't want to hear that.
Lisa obviously doesn't want to let this go. And so they're showing that flashback, not just to support Rinna, but also to support Kathy. This has happened before. And almost like the exact same thing with the exact same circumstances, and it's being flipped the exact same way, and Kathy's no fool. So they show those flashbacks to, again, support Rinna and what she's saying, but also kind of support the other side to give a nod to us viewers like, okay, you guys decide.
I think maybe because I'm just sensitive about some things. A friend of mine is dying of terminal cancer.
I'm so sorry.
And I haven't even told you. And it's very upsetting to me. So I'm sorry. and I don't behave.
So no music whatsoever. These moments, you know, you guys remember when Rinna was kind of crying around the table, and a lot of people, and I myself saw, like, there were no tears. And
I'm okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
they used a lot of music there to sort of bolster that scene. Here, they don't need music at all.
So I'm sorry.
To me, it feels like very real emotion, like it's an ugly cry, and it's her like really trying not to cry as opposed to trying to cry. So they don't need music, they don't need stingers, they don't need to push the narrative at all here. We're just supposed to sort of bask in what she's feeling and decide for ourselves how we feel about it.
This way, and people that have known me for 30 years, I don't have problems with people.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're looking at me like, oh, I have some big problem. Yeah, I am.
I'm not looking at you
right
like
now.
that. I see that. I understand
and you
pain.
can have a little compassion.
I'm sorry, Kathy. You're not going to get away with it with me. You're not going to get away with it. You can have your tears. You can do.
Okay, no editing notes. I just can't. I'm getting triggered. Okay.
You can do what you're going to do, but you did what you did. And
Yes,
you're
I did.
not going to just gaslight and manipulate me right now. If you want to apologize to me, let's talk about what you really did, and let's talk about some of the names you called people, and we'll go there if you want to. Do you remember us at the house?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember that I locked myself in the bedroom?
No, I did not.
I did. Do you know why I locked myself in the bedroom?
Why?
Okay, so she's really just like, I'm not accepting this apology, and I'm going, and I really just want this information to come out, and I wanted to do it on screen in this conversation with you. That's how I feel about it. Like, it just feels like, oh, I got my moment, let's do this. And again, from an editorial standpoint, they're going back and forth between the two of them, and there's no music whatsoever because this is raw and real. But I don't know, I feel like everyone's spidey senses might be going off, that this just feels very produced. It's probably my least favorite quality in Housewives at all is when people are trying to produce. It's different, like a Kenya trying to produce, meaning like being a little bit more shady or bringing things up. I don't mind when people bring things up because it's like, you know, it could take 20 minutes to get to a point where they're actually talking about the root of the issue, or they could have someone like Kenya bring it up and get to it quicker. I don't mind that at all, but this sort of like trying to create drama with stuff that isn't that dramatic is my least favorite quality in the Housewives. It's my least favorite quality in filmmaking. I'm bringing it up because it is actually a cardinal sin in filmmaking, is really trying to, like, you know, elicit emotion out of something that isn't that deep. Your audience is very smart. Let us decide what we want to feel emotional about and what we want to like have be drama in our worlds. Don't try to create something. Don't try to fabricate something. And I think our alarm bells just go off with stuff like this. I always just, when like Lisa tries to produce and stuff, I'm like, I think you think we're all idiots. Like, I think you think that we don't see through this. I'm not sure what you think. But it bothers me. And my, like, everything else was real. And then all of a sudden this goes up and then my little spidey senses go off. And I start to honestly check out. As an audience member, I start to check out a little bit.
Sure.
Why?
Because you were having a psychotic break of some kind. Like, it was.
And then they show that little reaction shot of Kyle, which they didn't need to put in there, but Kyle looks a little confused. Probably just like us, it's a little bit of a rooting, a grounding for us. Like, here's an anchor in the scene. Kyle's like, psychotic break? That feels maybe a little extreme for what we're talking about here. Being rude and being, you know, not a great sister and saying rude things about people is different than a psychotic break.
Really out of control.
I can't imagine that anybody could scare Lisa Rinna. I am constantly reminded of the situation with Lisa with my sister Kim. She got physical.
You'll never.
Great. So here we are. Kathy's, you know, saying what we're all thinking, and then now they're going to give us our flashback, which we desperately needed, as Rinna's saying this stuff about, like, you know, like she's some delicate flower who never does anything.
Ever. Everybody will know. My husband. Everybody will know. You understand that? Everybody will go after You're my husband.
You are angry. And at this beautiful sister of yours.
Look, I didn't handle myself well. I'm not proud of it, okay?
Yes.
And I said things I don't mean. That's all I can say.
For me, you know, Kathy's my sister. You guys.
Yeah, this is like where we start getting that sisterly stuff. Like, Kyle better come in with some, like, you know, Kathy said sorry a lot. You know, it's going to take some repair, but like what Lisa's trying to do just doesn't. And then, of course, she's going to bring Kyle into it to try to say, like, this gorgeous sister, to try to bring her into the mix. And let's see what Kyle does.
You guys, honestly, are like my sisters, too. And they've been there for me. And, you know, the thought of you guys having this issue and then, you know,
no, we
the
don't
one
have
who
an
gets
issue.
hurt is me.
Lisa, I apologize to you. I appreciate our conversation.
Yeah, but I just want to know where that hatred comes from. You've got to figure that out. You've got to figure out why you have a black heart. What is it?
I'm not going to have any more discussion with you.
Is that it? No more? I had a feeling this might go this way.
Yeah, so then the music comes in. I can't even, like, it's just like, come on, a black heart. Like, it just feels produced again. It just feels like it's really trying to push us somewhere, you know, push the audience somewhere. Like, we're supposed to feel some sort of way, but like, just let the scene play out. Now the music comes in.
I'm not going to have any more discussion with you.
Is that it? No more? I had a feeling this might go this way.
The music is a good clue to kind of obviously show we're headed towards the end of this scene, but also that, you know, maybe trying to play up the drama a little bit, honestly, and take away from this moment. If they took the music totally out of this moment, we might really call a bluff on Bravo. Like, this is way too, like, soap opera-y, because it feels very soap opera-y. So they're maybe trying to distract us a little bit with music. I know if I was editing, I would try to breeze past this a lot.
Feeling this might go this way.
Guys, please, you both, please, I'm begging you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me walk you up.
I am so done.
I can see that Kathy is trying to keep her cool because she knows she has to apologize, but I feel like Rinna's pushing it.
Drive carefully.
Okay.
Okay, so Kyle's saying what we're all thinking. You know, they put that confessional in because I do feel like we're all thinking it.
I feel like Rinna's pushing it.
Pushing it is a great way to put it. Would have loved if she said that on set, though.
Oh my God, those are gorgeous. Look how pretty. Oh, I love the way she did those, Kyle. So pretty.
And then the music sort of gets a little bit silly as she's walking out. Kyle's kind of awkwardly closing the door on her while she's still talking to her.
The way she did those, Kyle. So pretty.
It's sort of like quirky Kathy moment, and also like a little bit like, oh, like I'm leaving that behind and I'm kind of back to myself. And the music kind of complements that.
Oh my God. Well, that was good and then kind of wasn't.
I'm looking for my life to be less complicated.
I know, but work needs to be done between you two. Something needs to happen. You can't just have this moment and then be like, okay, fine, everything's good, because I don't think everything's good at the core. She needs to do some serious soul searching or talking to somebody, because I'm not sure it will get it.
This meddling is really, I think, where we tend to, as an audience, just get really frustrated. It's this meddling. I think I just got to it. All of these moments where I've been frustrated with Rinna, with you guys. Again, I don't want her gone. I don't dislike any of the housewives. There's certain qualities that I dislike in a housewife, and meddling in stuff that they're really not necessarily even like naturally a part of is something that I don't like, because it just feels so fabricated. And this right here is like, she's really meddling in this sister. And I wish, you know, Kyle would jump in and say it a little bit more, but.
Any better unless she does.
next time.
Well, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This episode was so good. I would love to cover the Erica scene as well. Why don't you guys tell me in the comments if you haven't written a comment already, or if you want to write a comment, tell me if you guys would like me to cover like more than 1 or 2 scenes in each episode, especially if it's a great episode. Sometimes I don't cover stuff just because it's kind of like filler or smaller stuff, but there's editing stuff in there that I think would be really interesting for you guys. So tell me in your comments below, like if you like sort of the bigger scenes being covered, or if you wouldn't mind some of the other filler scenes being covered as well, because from an editorial and production standpoint, all of these scenes are so chock full and I could talk about this for hours. So thank you guys so much for watching. Classy comments only, and until next time.
I feel like Rinna's pushing it.